Salawat Sejahtera, deepest condolences to the family of Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, to Tun Jin and Khairi Jamaluddin, your family, your friends, and everybody else who is grieving across the nation right now. I'm sorry for the loss of a statesman, a gentleman, and a true Mr. Nice Guy who I feel was too kind, too generous, and who had suffered much in this world. I don't know if you'd call this a eulogy, but this is an expression of genuine sadness for the man who taught me that a prime minister could actually change. Tun Mahathir was the first prime minister I'd known. I didn't even know that a prime minister could change until one day I woke up and boom. Suddenly, Tun Badawi, you were my prime minister. You were the PM that taught me this idea that politics was a thing. But it's also you who taught me that great men can have very sad stories, and it's because of that sad story that I thought to share this with my audience and with the world today. Because Tun, Malaysia did not deserve you. You became Prime Minister of Malaysia to replace Dr Mahathir, and right after you came in, you won the biggest parliamentary majority in the entirety of history. Literally 198 out of 290 parliamentary seats. You did this even when your wife Tun Dr Mahmud was suffering from cancer, and God knows how you went through that whole experience every single day you came into office. How does a man who has a wife that is deteriorating every single day lead an entire country? I don't know. It was one of those things that made me realize that you had your challenges and you had a hard hand. I was just at Tun Mahathir's time capsule event just yesterday, and of course Tun's career is a matter of historical record, but then so is how the two of you ended up in conflict with one another. I don't know what part came from him and what part came from all the forces around you, but it must have been tough to be pulled in every direction, from everywhere, being close to someone that you love but you knew was fading away, even as you had tried to bring out your Islam Hadari, your plans for human capital, and so many other things along the way that you brought to us even though you were suffering. We can argue that you were too gentle, you were too much of a nice guy for the political world or anything, but now that we know in the course of history what you went through, it seems like a gift that you gave to us at your expense as you burned up your life. And when you retired, I think that a darker and more complex age started in politics. It wasn't just because I was growing older at the time, but it's also because of different reasons that I think anyone who does some reading will probably know about. But the last time I saw you again was in Khairi's photos. He said that you had dementia and you were sitting in that wheelchair, a shadow of yourself. Not a man who was making speeches out in parliament, literally leading an entire country of 20 million people. And I started to realize it was my first time seeing a prime minister as a human. They too are human and they too have their challenges. I have no idea what that must be like to go through. Forgetting names, forgetting faces, forgetting all of the things that you knew and loved about the world. Your friends, your family, the moments, the memories. I have no idea how you live through life in that state, treated unjustly in life by circumstance and by people, yet unable to enjoy the fruits of the efforts that you once dedicated for our sake. Becoming a shell of yourself and looking out in the middle of the nation that you once led is not something that I would ever wish on a person, on any living human being on the surface of the planet. You were the first prime minister I'd ever seen truly showcase that people would do their duty even if it was difficult, the world went against them, and everything else. Losing you and gaining Siti Mastura in Kepala Batas was already a cruel joke from the high heavens, but whatever it is, wherever it is, I hope that you find relief in your release from the life that you were living. To close, I want to read this poem that you wrote back in 2003, and I read this not as a Muslim, but as someone who knows how important Islam and Islam Hadari was to you, and so I begin. The Peace Within. I seek the peace within, I seek not riches untold, to live a life of luxury. I seek not millions, to live a life of plenty. I seek not friends so many, to live a life of profligacy. I seek he who is Al-Ghazali, I seek he who is Al-Shafi, to unravel the secrets in the holy book. Seeking inspiration, to unravel the secrets in the ways of the Prophet. Seeking guidance, I live only for him, my Lord. He is my companion, he is my guardian, he suffices. I live a life full of meaning, immersed in the peace within. But Allah, wherever it is that you are on the universe timeline, thank you for your service to the nation of Malaysia and on behalf of all Malaysians. I hope that you find the peace within. Thank you for being my Prime Minister and my condolences to the entire nation.